Welcome to T&Tlive. In this episode, I am answering the question, what's for dinner? And what's for dinner is chicken and noodles. And I'm going to show you how to get it on the table in less than 30 minutes. But before we get into that, if we're just meeting, I'm Denise Jordan, and I teach women how to make and keep a home. So if you want to learn more about running a household, hit that subscribe button and double tap that little bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Okay, let's get into it. What's for dinner has to be answered every single night. And an easy way to do that is to make a meal plan so that you know ahead of time what you're cooking. We talked about how to make a meal plan in a previous episode. And if you missed that, I'll link it below so that you can catch up. But in a nutshell, you take an inventory of your freezer, your fridge, and your pantry, and then you plan around your stash. That means you make a meal plan for a week based upon the supplies you already have at home. With these two main ingredients on hand, I knew that I had everything else that I needed to make chicken and noodles. The cream of mushroom soup or cream of chicken soup is a pantry staple, so I knew they were in there. And my fridge always has carrots and celery. So everything I needed to make this dish, I had right here at home. Now the hubby had called and said he was on his way home and that he was starving like Marvin. So I knew I had to get a meal on this table in less than 30 minutes. Now the good thing was, since I had planned ahead, I had already taken the chicken out of the freezer, so it was thawed out. I just needed to boil the noodles and saute the vegetables and then put it all together. The first thing I did was put my noodles on to boil. I filled my pot with about 4 quarts of water and sprinkled in 2 teaspoons of salt. My noodles of choice, Essen House noodles. Now here's the thing. Some will say to add more salt, some will say to add less salt. How much salt you add depends upon your personal preferences and your dietary needs. However, the salted water is about the only time you have to season the pasta. So make sure you do add salt. Some say salt the water generously before you add the pasta or after you add the pasta. Just make sure you salt the water because you don't want flat, tasteless pasta. While the pasta was coming to a boil, I washed and diced 2 carrots and 2 stalks of celery. Then I added 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the pan, let it heat up, and then I sauteed my carrots, and then my celery. Now I love the flavor that carrots and celery add to chicken and noodles. So if you haven't tried it this way, I encourage you to give it a try. But the secret is to make sure you cook the vegetables until soft. You don't want chewy vegetables in your chicken and noodles. Now once my pasta was almost ready, almost at al dente, I drained the water off. Returned it to the pot, then added the chicken broth. And I always use Swanson's. Don't ask me why, I just do. And I let the pasta finish cooking in that, and oh my goodness, the noodles soak up the chicken broth and it makes them taste amazing. Then I add my soup. You can either add 2 cans of cream of chicken or 1 can of cream of chicken and 1 can of cream of mushrooms. It's your choice. I'll usually add 1 of each if I know that I'm not dealing with any mushroom allergies. Then I'll add the rest of the chicken broth. It's hard to say just how much chicken broth to add. It depends upon how thick or how thin you want your sauce. If you like your sauce thinner, then you add more chicken broth. If you want your sauce thicker and creamier, then you will add less chicken broth. And you'll notice that I did not add any more salt. There's salt in the soup and there's salt in the rotisserie chicken, so I did not add any more salt. You can decide whether or not you need more salt based upon your personal taste. Now here's a question for you. What spices do you like to add when you're making chicken and noodles? Tell me in the comment section below. April says she likes to add cayenne pepper and thyme. So that's going to give it a little bit of heat. She says there's also an island spice that she likes to use that has onions and garlic and a combination of other island spices that she enjoys in her food. Mickey says she likes salt, pepper, and a little onion powder. So what do you like to add to your chicken and noodles? Now that the noodles and sauce base is ready, I'll add in the carrots and celery. I'll stir that in gently so as not to break up the noodles. And then it's time to get my chicken out of the bag and into the pot. It's already thawed and has come to room temperature while I was taking care of other things. It just needs to be cut up into serving size pieces. You can take the skin off or leave the skin on. Again, that's up to you, but leaving some of the skin on provides additional flavor. And if you feel like you need to add some more chicken broth, now is the time to do it. Fold that in, then add a dollop of chili sauce. Then I put the lid on it and let it just simmer for about 10 minutes. Just long enough to heat the chicken through and get my table ready. And if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I like to add a dollop or two of chili sauce in most foods that I cook. Now, some people get a little bit crazy when I say I like to add chili sauce to a lot of my foods. But the chili sauce adds wonderful flavor, but none of the heat that you get from, say, hot sauce or red pepper sauce. All flavor, but no heat. I'm not one who likes hot foods, but I do enjoy flavor. I started adding chili sauce to my food, about 10 years or so ago when I made a recipe called Creole Chicken, and the author of the book encouraged us to use chili sauce in the recipe. And it was so delicious. It really made that recipe so flavorful, but there was none of the heat that you get with hot sauce, and I have been a believer ever since. So what's your secret sauce? What do you like to add when you're making dinners for your family? Inquiring minds want to know. Mickey said just salt, pepper, and onion powder. That's about all she likes to use when she's cooking. Now, to get this meal on the table in less than 30 minutes, starting with a rotisserie chicken was half the battle. The chicken was already cooked and already thawed, and I'd already made this meal before. So I was not making something new. And that's key. When you've got to get a meal on the table in a hurry, you can't be, or rather you shouldn't be trying something new. Now, something else to think about is this. You could possibly get 2 meals from this rotisserie chicken. You could cut it in half and have half of it on Sunday for a Sunday dinner with maybe a baked potato and some veggies on the sides or whatever. And then the other half shred up into small pieces and put that into your dish for your chicken and noodles. So then you would have 2 meals from that one meat. The other thing you could consider is using canned chicken. Either way, you could get a meal on the table pretty quickly. This meal was absolutely delicious and the hubby loved it. And I served it up with green beans and cranberry sauce on the side. What do you like to serve on the side when you make chicken and noodles for your family? April says she likes to serve garlic toast with her chicken and noodles. And a lot of families in Indiana will serve mashed potatoes. They will actually put the chicken and noodles on top of the mashed potatoes. It's a Hoosier thing. You just got to be here. But what do you like to serve on the side with your chicken and noodles? We've really had some interesting conversations in the past few episodes. On one of those episodes, we talked about how often you should change out your bath towel. We had some good discussion on that topic, and you would really be surprised at the answer. So if you missed that episode, I'll link it below so that you can check it out. And then several members had asked about how to meal plan. That is what stimulated this series on a Meal Planning 101. And because of that, I have created some printables that you can use in your process. One of those is a meal planning worksheet. The other is an inventory worksheet, inventory for your fridge, your freezer, and your pantry, and then a grocery shopping list based upon your meal plan and your inventory. So if you want access to those, just send me an email and then I will send them right out to you. And keep in mind that when you send me the email, I'll put you on my email list so that when I come up with other printables or things that you might want to know regarding to cooking, cleaning, and laundry, I'll get those right out to you. If you like what we do here, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And hit the like button because that lets me know you're enjoying the content. And if you really want to support this channel, watch another video. I'll link one below just for easy access. So what question or what topic would you like to see me address in an upcoming episode? Tell me in the comment section or send me an email. And then maybe the next time we're live, I might be talking about one of the things that you're concerned about. And just so you know, I've raised 3 children and I've managed a home for more than 45 years. So if you want to learn more about running a household, cooking, cleaning, and laundry, subscribe. I would love to have you as a member of the T&T community. In the meantime, this is Denise Jordan saying goodbye. I will see you next time.